Workers Union at the SABC are planning to embark on a lunchtime picket and protest in Auckland Park, Johannesburg today.
This in protest against the public broadcaster's intention to retrench almost 1,000 workers as part of its cost-cutting measures. SABC management says while it respects the right of workers to picket and protest, they view the planned action as being unprotected. The employer has urged the CW and BMAU to refrain from any acts of misconduct and not engage in any unlawful actions. Now, for more on this story, we're joined on the line by Hannes Dubison of the Broadcasting Electric Media Allied Workers Union. Hannes, a very good morning to you. Management says while it respects the rights of workers to picket and protest, they view the planned action as being unprotected. What's the union's response?
Well, it seems that management has got a limited understanding of the labour laws and the constitutional rights of employees in this country. An employee can do what an employee wants to do over lunchtime, as long as that employee does not resort to any illegal deeds or actions. When we last checked the Constitution, it was perfectly legal to protest and have, exercise one's constitutional right to freedom of expression.
Demonstration will be joined, reportedly be joined by COSATU and other public groups opposed to retrenchments at the SABC. How important is their support?
Well, we think it is very important. We, in fact, think that the people of South Africa should join in this action because the SABC belongs to the people of South Africa. It is their public broadcaster, and of course, one should prevent the SABC management to cut down the SABC to such an extent that it would be not functional at some point in time. And this is exactly what is going to happen if the SABC is going to cut down on staff dramatically. We have seen statistics, for instance, of enormous gaps in positions in the SABC where staff are working overtime, where freelancers are hired in to fill in gaps. So we do not know where the SABC is getting the information from that we are overstaffed at the SABC.
Hannes, you and I have touched on this in our previous conversations. What, as the union, do you think the SABC should be doing to resolve its financial problems?
We think that the SABC or whoever are above the board or the portfolio committee should ensure that we get people in that are properly qualified, that can turn the SABC around, looking at increasing its revenue, looking at ways and means to ensure that we're going to continue to serve the public of South Africa by getting new revenue streams and ways and means to increase that. We have a lot of new channels that's coming up. There's that ability to put more channels on air, and that, of course, means that there is more revenue. And we think that that should be first explored before we even look at cutting jobs at all.
You've reportedly released a statement where you list apparently people who've benefited unduly or people who might be retrenched. There's a bit of confusion there. What is the statement really about, Hannes? Clarify that for us, please.
We've been made aware of a list that has been circulated, which is in a lot of instances falsely making a statement by the heading of that list that there are people who were appointed into positions that were not advertised. We had quite a few members and non-members calling us about this particular list, and they have put their side of the story, which of course says that they have been duly interviewed in a promotion process by a panel of people. Some people were simply laterally moved from one position to another position forcefully by management. They were told to go to another position in the organization or they will lose their job. So that list, it is of huge concern to us that the Human Resources, the custodian of all personal information in terms of the POPI Act, has leaked that information, or that information got out under their custody into the public domain. And of course, we are considering legal action against the SABC as a result of that.
Hannes, just on a final note, What is going to happen today?
Today is simply going to be a very
Hello, Hannes, are you still there? All right, we seem to have lost Hannes there. That was Hannes Dubuisson of the Broadcasting Electronic Media and Allied Workers Union here at the SABC Blaine.